Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News.
Is that actually your name?
Yeah.
Regan Slaymaker.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great name.
I should be a boxer really, but...
You should be. I mean, but Slaymaker is unbelievable. I wish that was my last name.
Yeah, Tony Sims has given me the nickname the President when I go into the gym. So President Regan.
Oh right. Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out. Tony Sims. Shout out to him. But Eddie, fiery face-off between Tyler Denny and Felix Cash. Massive European middleweight title fight.
Yeah, it's a really good card from top to bottom. Very excited about it. I mean, I find that fight so fascinating because everyone loves a story, everyone loves a journey, and if you know anything about Felix Cash, really good fighter. Destroyed Denzel Bentley in a couple of rounds. Away from home on a Queensbury show back when we were beating Queensbury fighters. And now we're in a full circle of 18 months out of the ring, a disaster in his personal life, on a complete downward spiral, really out of the game, back in the game with Adam Booth, looking fantastic, but coming back, having been out for 18 months, against a guy that the style for Felix of a guy that just keeps on coming, keeps on really fit. And if you don't put a dent in him early, it's going to be a hard night for Felix Cash. But we're going to find out what he's all about, Felix. If his love for the game is back, I think he wins. If he's not, and he's not the same fighter, he's going to find it very difficult. But great card, top to bottom. Of course, the co-main event and many other great fights on the show.
Definitely as well. Would you say that main event is very much activity versus raw talent?
Yeah, I think so. I think no one would, maybe Tyler Denny, but no one would really argue with the fact that Felix is the more naturally gifted fighter. But you've seen him before in fights, look amazing. I mean, you go back to the Madiev fight, these are all fights where he weren't living the life, in all honesty. Like even Denzel Bentley fight, I don't think he was truly living the life, but he got him out of there in a couple of rounds. But what happens if the Denzel Bentley fight goes 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds? Even against Jack Catterall, he battered him, but Jack started coming back in the fight. So 12 rounds is a long time when you've been out of the ring for a long time, and it's all very well after the fact saying probably should have had a warm-up, but before the fact they're saying no warm-up required. Adam Booth says he's looking brilliant. I know he had to take his pants off, but he actually looks good on the weight, and he's a big middleweight as well. But he's away from home, right? We're going to have 5,000 in there tomorrow. Be a great atmosphere, and it ain't going to be easy.
No, definitely. I'm very looking forward to that one as well. Throwback to that Madiev fight. That was a crazy fight, that one as well.
But by the way, probably bad matchmaking, because Madiev was a serious fighter. I don't know what he's done since, but he came over, I think he was 19-0 at the time. But they were so confident back then, Felix, because he was looking really good. Yeah, we'll fight Madiev. And it was he went down 2 or 3 times, lucky to get the decision. Really? Was it a draw?
Yeah, it was, but it was mathematically impossible, really, for Felix to win.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And tough night's work, but he's a good fighter.
Definitely as well. Move on to the mini press conference we had for the PrizeFighter tournament. Really excited for this one. Different concept to the original kind of process of PrizeFighter.
Yeah, I think the early PrizeFight was a bit of a crapshoot, really. And what I mean by that is like a fast-paced, gimmicky tournament, which was amazing for the fans. 3-minute rounds, knockouts, shootouts. But the boxing market has just become a lot more educated now. I don't think they really want to see that now. They want to see more championship fights, with a longer format. Obviously, they used to fight for £32,000. Now they're fighting for $1 million and probably a shot at the middleweight world title. So very excited for the concept. Incredible opportunity for these fighters and for us in Japan, which is a very important market, and looking forward to July.
Definitely. And you mentioned, I think Frank mentioned up there, not just Japan the plan is, but to take this all around the world.
I mean, look, it's a format and a brand that can work anywhere. And we don't rule out the old format as well, but in this particular instance, Japan is a experienced market when it comes to boxing. They want to see championship fights. So yeah, definitely a brand that can be taken globally wherever the site fee dictates.
Definitely. I want to move on to Katie Taylor as well. It's just been announced that Amanda Serrano's taken an interim fight before the Paul Tyson undercard in November. Is Katie Taylor planning for an interim fight or waiting for that
Probably
Serrano?
Not, no, because I feel like sometimes those fights can be detrimental actually to the build-up. It's hard to get motivated for. Sometimes you can pick up a niggle, and although November sounds like a long time away, we're approaching July, so she's gone back to Ireland for a little rest, and then she'll resume camp. Serrano's having a 10-2s at £140 or whatever it is. Should be a straight forward night's work, but if you don't look great in that fight, it's just, I don't know, sometimes it's not the best, but it's hindsight. You never know till after the fact. But for Katie, straight into November.
Definitely, obviously, there was a lot of talks about AJ Dubois, obviously, press conference for AJ next week. Obviously, you said that negotiations are ongoing in previous interviews, but how big is that fight for British boxing, AJ versus Dubois?
Yeah, I mean, look, for us, we would only take that fight if the IBF belt was on the line, because if not, we might look at another fight. So there is a good chance it might be. If that all gets done, then AJ to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion against another big punching Brit at the National Stadium is a monster event. It's not all agreed yet, in all honesty, but we're all on the same page, working to get that boxed off with His Excellency, and myself and George and Spencer are building the card as well. It's very exciting, and everything will be announced on Wednesday. Still a lot of work to do all round, but very excited for another Riyadh season event.
Definitely, and moving on to the board order, another boxer versus matchroom fight, Leigh Cutler versus Bostan for the English super welterweight title, I think. Very much the plan for Bostan next?
Yeah, for sure. We love the fight. Happy to do it on Sky, happy to do it on DAZN, wherever the best opportunities are for the fighters. Definitely a fight that, for us, as we plan the schedule, we've got, a plan to return to Sheffield in September with Billam-Smith. End of August 24th, we're really working on a big show there. Could land on that, could land in September in Sheffield. So we'll be doing our best to win that purse bid, or trying to get the fight.
Definitely as well. Terri, Harper and Steffi Ball, they announced that Terri's moving back down to lightweight, I think a bit more close to her natural weight as well. Could we see all British world title fight with Rhiannon Dixon?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I feel like Rhiannon Dixon obviously doing fantastically well at the moment. She needs a marquee fight really to really raise that profile and go to the next level. Terri Harper, a tough fight last time out against Sandy Ryan. I think she's just looking, it's one thing being that weight, it's another thing being strong at the weight. And, I feel like lightweight, it might be difficult for her with the size she's put on, 140, but they feel confident they can make it. And if she can get to 135 effectively, I think she will be much more effective. And I think a fight between Rhiannon Dixon and Terri Harper makes great sense. Both popular, both sell a lot of tickets. For Terri, it would almost be like a last roll of the dice, in all honesty. I mean, when you look back, I still see Terri as, a young woman who's kind of starting out the sport. But when you look at it, she's been around quite a long time, really since the beginning of the resurgence of female boxing. But if she loses, she come off a draw against Brackhouse, a loss against Ryan. If she lost against Rhiannon Dixon, that might be it, So she must win that fight. It's a very, very competitive fight.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to that one. Final one from me. Jack Catterall done a post praising you yesterday. Fight news incoming. Is it that rumoured Arnold Barboza fight?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, there's a few people in the mix. I think the one fight that I really wanted to make, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, is Regis Prograis. I think that would be a brilliant fight. Obviously, everyone knows him. Barboza's another great fight because that could be a final eliminator for Teofimo Lopez. It's not even Barboza's being difficult. I think the problem is some of these fighters have so many people taking money out of their pot that when they look at actually what they're getting at the end of it, the cumulative number that he's been offered is an unbelievable offer for him. But I think he's looking at it and go, well, after my manager, promoter, him's taking it, is that all I'm left with? So that's not really our fault or our business. Right? So he may be left on the bench. There's other fights we're looking at as well, but we will have a big show August 24th at the new Co-op Arena in Manchester.
Looking forward to that one. Just on Jack Catterall, obviously praising you, giving him activity. Definitely the right time to kick on with the momentum after the great wins he's had.
It's so easy to wait, right? And you can look at that division right now and go, Sam's saying to me, can we fight Leigh Paro? Well, Leigh Paro is a mandatory against Richardson Hitchens. Now, it's very likely if we get the timing right, we could fit in a voluntary, right? Well, if we do, is it going to be Jack Catterall? Maybe, but likely it's going to be in Australia against a big marquee name from America, right, to get that site fee. So if you're Jack and you're coming off that Josh Taylor win and you're flying right now, your profile's bigger than ever, physically you feel great, you're full of confidence, there's no reason to wait around. And unfortunately, the Josh Taylor saga's given him that inactivity for quite a few years. Now he's come through that and shone in that rematch. Let's get him back out. And, him against Barboza, big fight. Him against Prograis, really big fight. Him against Paro, really big fight. Mattia, I don't know. But we've got so many fighters at 140. Let's make the great fights. He's a big ticket seller. His popularity is bigger than ever. We can do a great undercard in Manchester. Fill that place up with a really nice event to kickstart it. So, Jack's a big part of our plans. And, going back to the loyalty of fighters, he's in a situation where his contract was up with us. And everyone's, like after that Josh Taylor, everyone's been onto him. we know your contract's up. And he said, no, I want to be with Eddie. I want to be with Matchroom. And that means a lot to me. So, you know, Sam sent me that post that he sent last night, and I just put, he knows exactly how to play on my heartstrings. But when I see that, right or wrong, I go, you know, he's one of the team, he's one of the family. So we've got to deliver for him, and we'll do that August 24th.
Definitely, I promise. Final one from me. Any update on Wood Warrington 2?
No, I mean, I feel for Josh Warrington because he's ready, you know, and he's I did the first fight. Financially, it worked out very well for the fighters, but not so well for us, which is fine. But we got to get the money right on the next one. And to be fair to Josh Warrington, you know, he did get beat. He's taken a fair deal that allows us to run that fight. Leigh Wood got very well paid in the first fight, and unfortunately, even though he won the fight, we've just got to get the numbers right. He's been offered a huge amount of money, but probably not the number that he thinks he should get for the fight. And that's completely up to him. I'm not telling you, Leigh's a joke, how's he not taking his fight? He's got his own opinion, and if he doesn't feel the money's right, he doesn't have to take the fight. But it's there, it could be signed tonight at the hotel, and it's very frustrating. And we've got to make a move for Josh Warrington, because, you know, he's with us, he's been with us, and I've got 3 or 4 fights that I'm looking at for Josh Warrington, World Championship fights included. But I do want to make Wood Warrington, but we're running out of time.
Definitely. Well, I look forward to seeing that, Eddie. Thank you very much. Enjoy your mixed grill.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Cheers.